Hello again, folks. It's your boy, Amateur Overlord here. I'm talking to you live and direct from my usual studio, as opposed to on location where I was in the last video. I'm really glad how that video turned out. Shout out to my buddy J.A. For making it to the video and giving such great content, which a lot of you have really enjoyed. So I appreciate that. Today's topic is going to be a little bit more interesting. I'm going to tell you a story. As the title said, it's going to be about the worst date I've ever been on. This date happened about 4 or 5 years ago. No, probably a little bit longer than that. Probably 6 years. Yeah, probably 6 years ago. I was using a well-known dating app. I won't say which one. And I came across a person, a black lady. Black like me. And I read her profile. She seemed interesting. She was like 4 years younger than me. And at the bottom of her profile, it said, "I only date white guys." And I was like, okay. Or Arabs. She said white guys or Arabs. I was like, all right, cool. I'm not either of those. But I was like, meh, I liked the picture. And then the match thing came up. She said, oh, we matched. I was like, oh, well, I guess maybe she's being flexible. So we talked for a while, and it's funny sometimes after the fact when you date somebody or if you're in a relationship, you realize there were signs before you ever met up with the person, or like when the course of just talking, there were signs there that you missed, but you were so kind of like open to the whole interaction that you just ignored them. There's some things she said that I thought were a little off key when talking to her initially over text. I can't think of anything specifically, but I know that there were little alarm bells that went off a little bit. But I was like, oh, she's pretty enough, That's what's one of the biggest mistakes men make. Men are so dopey. I'm gonna speak for myself, but I know this to be more of a male trait in that if we find a woman physically attractive, we will overlook almost all of her bad qualities. If we find her to be unattractive, those bad qualities are glaringly clear. Strange thing. I don't know if it's Disney that got us twisted. I don't know if society's got our minds bent. But an attractive woman to a man can almost do no wrong. And that has been to our detriment throughout history. Samson will tell you what's up. So yeah, Cleopatra got people tripping. Yeah, beauty makes men stupid. So I pick her up and we go on this date. She lived off of the Chelsea embankment in a little shared apartment, whatever. So I jumped in I was driving a Sirocco at the time. I love that car. And I drive her into central London. And we go to a restaurant that I picked out. Obviously, I asked her input. I didn't just say, we're going here. I said, yo, do you like such and such food? She was like, yeah. So we get to the restaurant. I'm making my little jokes. She thinks I'm hilarious, which I am. And then it's time to order the food. So like she orders her food first. I'm like, ladies first, obviously. I'm a gentleman. My mama raised me right. And then I order my food. And I order my food and I put down I'm handing the waitress my menu. And I look over and she's glaring at me. She's like this. So I'm like, what the hell? So I was like, are you okay? And she's like, you know what you did. And I was thinking, huh? She's like, you know what you did. I said, okay. I said, well, could you humor me and remind me just in case I forgot? And she goes, I saw you. And I was like, saw me do what? She goes, I saw you talking to her. I went, talking to who? Like, I've been sitting there the whole time. That woman just there that you were flirting with? I said, what woman? She goes, the waitress. I said, what? She's like, yeah, I saw how you were talking to her. I was like, I gave her my order. Why would I be flirting with her? I'm here with you on a date. And she goes, exactly. I was like, okay, all right. All right. I was like, okay. I was like, I said, okay, hear me out. I was like, maybe you don't understand my mannerisms, but I'm an extrovert. I'm very, very friendly to people. And had the waitress been a man, I would have talked to them in the same exact fashion. I was not being in any way more friendly to the waitress than I would have to any other person. I said, and if you spend more time with me, you would see that that's just how I am. Like, I honest to God, I cannot recall flirting with this waitress. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to be on a date with a woman and flirt with the waitress. Like, come on, I'm better than that. That's a no-brainer. So anyway, the date continues. She calms down a bit. And the thing was like, she throughout the date, she'd like, I'd look up and she'd be like kind of glaring, and I'd look at her and she'd smile again. And I was like, this isn't going as well as I hoped. But you know what? I said, you know what? Tough it out. She is pretty. Or at least she was. I've seen her since. We go to a bar afterwards, and we're sitting down in this bar and they're playing music or whatever. It's just like a block away from where we were. And this lady who sees us sitting there, and she's like kind of walking around near us, and we were like sat right near to the bathroom. Like she had just gone to the bathroom and come back, and I was sitting there, and this lady comes back, and she's still walking around, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, you guys, I don't mean to interrupt, but can you tell me where the bathroom is? Like the restroom, you know, whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, it's just over there. Like, I just pointed where homegirl had just come from. She said, oh, thanks, and she walks in there. So then I'm just there, vibes into the music. I look over, she was there holding onto my arm, and she's just glaring at me. And I was like, what's wrong now? She goes, you did it again. I said, did what again? I said, I haven't done anything. She's like, you were flirting with her. I said, woman, I met you today, okay? That lady asked where the bathroom was. You were sitting right here, and all I gave her was information. I didn't smile, I didn't laugh, I didn't make any of my cool jokes. I just told her where the bathroom was. I was like, now, I don't know if you got some insecurities, because now I'm just angry. So when I'm angry, first I'll get sarcastic, right? Then I'll get quiet, and after quiet becomes blinding rage. Most people never see the third part. And if they do, yeah. Anyway, so I'm getting sarcastic with her now. So then she's like, oh, I knew this was a mistake. This is why I only date white guys. I was like, and I had just read a book on, about how to deal with your ego and dating and things like that. So I said, like, don't personalize the comment. The comment's not based on information. She doesn't know you well enough to make these personal comments about you. She's talking from her own perspective on things and from her own hurt feelings. And I told myself this, reframed the hell out of it. I said, maybe she's been through a lot. Maybe she's been on dates with black guys that have done this, or guys in general, and she's talking from that paradigm. It's not you. So I said, all right, you know what? I think maybe we're just a bit nervous about being on this date together. I think maybe we're not understanding each other. I said, let's just finish off the evening, and if we want to see each other again afterwards, we can do that. And then she goes, you're gonna drop me home, right? I said, of course. I said, I'm a gentleman. I said I would drop you home, and then even in spite of everything, and I said, yeah, I'll make sure you get home. Like, it was raining pretty hard now. So then she like did this look at me like, I think he's lying. So now she starts to ramp up all the affection. She starts touching my arm, trying to nibble my ear. And when a man gets to a point where he's no longer attracted to a woman, all that stuff just feels creepy. Like, you don't want it to happen anymore. You're just like, okay. Like, I've seen this happen to a friend of mine named Dave. Oh, we're not supposed to use real names. Anyway, you don't know who Dave is. This girl was all over once, and he was just like not feeling it. He was just like, ugh. It literally looks like when you're trying to pick up a kid that don't want to get picked up. It's that uncomfortable. It's just like, oh, stop it. So I'm like, yeah, okay. And she's like, you ready to go back to mine? And I'm like, to drop you off? And she's like, what, you don't want to come in and spend some time with me? I was like, you know what? I gotta work tomorrow, and I don't want to be, and it's a first date. I'm a bit old fashioned. I ain't old fashioned. No, I'm just playing. I was just like, yeah. So I said, yeah, let's get going anyway. So we get in the car, and I drive her back to Chelsea Embankment Place, and it's raining hard, right? And I was like, I pull up to the place, and she goes, do you know what? You're not coming in. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. She goes, do you know why? And I went, no, but you're gonna tell me. She's like, because I don't like you. And I realized today, after this little experiment, why I only date white guys and Arabs. So then I was even cool with that. But then she got out the car and she slammed up my door. And that just lit me up a bit. So I rolls down the window. Bear in mind, it's raining really hard, so I had to kind of yell, because it's raining hard, you can't really hear someone. I said, good, you should date only white dudes and Arabs, because they're probably the only people that could deal with your crazy ass. This woman stopped like an anime character in the middle of the rain with her back to me, dropped her umbrella to the ground so the rain was just hitting her, and balled up her fist, and without turning around, I heard her say, what did you call me? And I was like, I said, you're crazy. This woman turned around with this look, like her eyes were so wide and it was dark, and I was in a car. I was in a 2-ton vehicle. I hit the gas. I didn't know, because she started to come back towards the car, and I was like, nah, son, nah. It's like when you throw a rock at an animal and they don't move. You're thinking, nah, that thing knows something I don't. I'm not about to risk it. I peeled out of there. This is the true story. This happened to me. I was terrified for my life. I was like, nah, she dropped the umbrella, everything. She didn't care about getting wet anymore. She was letting her weave get all soaked up. I was like, nah. Peeled out. So, yeah, that's my story. What is your worst dating experience? I've had other dating experiences. None of them were that bad. I still see this same girl online. She has become a lot more robust in these coming years here. But she does write on her profile in big capital letters. She only dates white men, and not even Arabs anymore. I guess maybe she had a bad date with an Arab. So anyway, that's it. That actually happened. I hope you enjoy the story, and I've been your host, Amateur Overlord. Click like and subscribe. I love you all, and I appreciate you watching.